and welcome to 4th International Malcolm Day special interviews of Chhatrapati awardees. Our today's guest is my idol. I used to see her practicing every day and I used to get inspired. So let's meet Miss Rashmi Gadhvi. Hi Rashmi.
Hello.
Rashmi, my first question to you is when did you start learning Malcolm at what age? And what was the story behind it?
Oh wow. Okay. So that's a quite funny story. So I have an elder brother, and I used to play on the road with him and his friends for till I was about 11, 12 years old. And my granddad really did not like me as a girl playing with all the roadies. So he decided that I should go to Samarth Vyayam Mandir so that at least I do something better. That's how I actually started going to Samarth Vyayam Mandir. And I actually started with gymnastics. And one fine day, I think Shreyas sir just came to me and said, "Would you like to do Malkham?" So it was something new that I was going to learn. So I just said yes. And I think at that time I really did not know what I'm going to do in future, because it was like, oh my God, Shreyas sir asking me something, you just can't say no. So the the next thing that comes out of your mouth is yes. So I that's how I started Malkham, and it just went on. So, and gymnastics was pretty left behind, and that was, I think, year 1988 maybe. I don't remember. Yeah, thanks. I was in year seventh standard, and I had my first competition in when I was in eighth standard. So pretty late compared to you girls.
Yeah, that's true. But how was your entire Malcolm competitive journey? Who was your coach and how did you train? And I always
Okay.
seen you winning. So how was it? How was that entire story?
So frankly, when I got in, I had no clue about all these competitions and all that. Um, it was only because Shrey sir asked, okay, will you do Malkham? Yes, I will do Malkham. Then the first year, when it was district championships, I was so not serious that I actually did not go for the competitions, but I went for a Kulu Manali trip with my parents. I was so not serious about it. And then the next year, I think I got into Nandatai's class and Nanda Shinde, and since then, like till I won Chhatrapati, I was still training with her. And yeah, she was always so good that it never felt like I'm doing a competition and I'm so tensed, and I was never like that. The only thing I wanted before a competition was a cup of tea. So that was my only requirement. So it really didn't ever feel like, oh my God, I'm so tensed, there's a competition. So I think I had given that all to Mamta. She had all the tension in the world to take care of. So, and I was like a free spirit. So, good.
I remember your entire team, like Mamta Tai, Reshma, Sheetal. You all used to practice so well. I was the one batch junior to you, and I was in Chitrata and Aditi Shetty's batch. And I used to admire your practice so much. What kind of training did you go through? Like physical training, mental training. How was your entire training?
Um, yeah, I think Nandati focused a lot on conditioning and fitness always. More than like I didn't do too much of rope practice, but of course I did a lot of conditioning, lot of running, lot of exercises, strengthening, rather than practicing sets on rope as such. And all the sets that we practiced on rope was like once or twice a day. And it was more of mental training. Like she used to always tell us, before you go to sleep or before you start, think of the mistakes that you're not supposed to make, rather than thinking of what you are supposed to do. Think about what you're not supposed to do, so obviously you will not do it and you will perform better. So I think we used to do a lot of musty, me and Reshma especially, and Mamta was our the serious person always. So she was always there to control the naughty persons in me and Reshma, and it all worked fine because there was a balance. We were very naughty, and she was very serious. So it was a good balance in Nandati's class that we always, uh, enjoyed our practice sessions with her. And one more thing I want to say is Nandati never stressed us with it. Oh, I remember days when I used to say, "Oh, I don't want to practice today. I'm very bored. I don't even want to be there. I just want to play and finish it off with some exercise." And she used to be fine with it. She never stressed us out like you have to do it 4 times, you have to do it 10 times, nothing like that. So that helped a lot because you perform well where you enjoy things. If you're stressed enough, I don't think you can perform well. So,
Definitely. I think it was like a fun plus
yeah,
hardcore training. It
always.
never made me realize, I guess, that you're working really hard because it was always with a fun part.
Right, right.
Nandati was a Chhatrapati awardee. You were a Chhatrapati awardee, and your student Apurva is also a Chhatrapati. So whatever you got from Nandati, did you pass on to Apurva, or you had some different technique while you were teaching her?
Yes, I did pass on everything that I learned from just not Nandati, but Chitrati, Shreya sir, Deshpande sir, everybody who taught along. I did pass it on to her, but as you know, Apurva was not the only one. I had Priyanka, Neha, so many of them. And um, I don't know whether I was a lucky one or an unlucky one, but each of them was a different person. So I had to treat them, I had to teach them individually, differently, applying all the ideas that Nandati and everybody had taught me all through. So, and like in Samartha Vyayam Mandir, you have started teaching much before you realize that you have started teaching. So, I, I was just given a class of like 10 girls and I started teaching. And I think I was saying the same things that Nandati was saying to me, an hour later, I was saying it to them. And I think, yeah, that's how it got passed on and was a success, I would say.
Definitely. I think like we have a tradition in Samartha Mandir that once you pass your 10th standard, you automatically start teaching. And that helps a lot in our performance as well.
Oh, yeah, yeah, yeah.
We can see the mistakes which our students are doing and we try not to do the same mistakes. So it is really a great feeling to become a teacher at that point. And you have this sense of responsibility also because you have entire class and the
Yeah.
students are now you have to teach them. And at the same time you have to practice for yourself as well. So you have to find the balance
Yeah.
and that teaches a lot also to us.
And that's why I said that I think I started teaching even before realized that I'm teaching. I was just taking a class that I was given, okay, teach them for an hour, but I didn't know that I'm actually teaching them what my teacher is teaching me. So,
Rashmi, I remember you used to do one job, which was directly like competition to competition. I never saw you performing that particular job in your practice. It was only competition. We used to wait for you to do that because we know that only competition we could see this. So it was your Nidrasan Rikevza. How did you mentally practice for it? Because I know a lot of players who practice every day, their entire set, but still they get nervous during the competition. And you not do that during your practice, but still perform so well in each and every competition. How did that happen?
so the story behind that Nidra Sandikep is not that I was doing this willingly. I'm sure Nandati would have appreciated if I would have done that during my practice sessions. But then I had a major surgery of my ankle, and if I would have performed that every day in my session, in fact, doctor had told me that I should not participate in any Malkham or any exercise after my surgery. But considering that I still think that I'm a very determined person. Once I decide something, nobody can move me from it. And so I decided that whatever the doctor says doesn't matter. I'm still going to do it. So the safer way to do this was okay, just do it from competition to competition. Okay, so rather than somebody telling me that you don't do Malkhambh at all, I found a middle way that okay, I will do it, but I will save my leg by just doing it during the competitions. And yes, it needed a real good mental training for sure. It was not easy that, and usually after say September or October you have continuous competitions, but after February, March till the next season, it's about 6 8 months that you're not doing anything during that season. So it really required a really required a good mental training. And I dedicate my mental training to three people: Shreya sir, Mamta, and Nandati. So Shreya sir was always the scary one. Okay, just do it. So just do it. You don't have the guts to say no or yes, right? Mamta was always one who understood me, understood my fears, because we grew up together. So we knew each other so well that she knew my fears. So she used to give me that confidence before the competition. And Nandati, obviously, she was always there, so she used to always revise the steps for me: do this, do this, do this. And I think that really helped. So
Definitely, I think your friend is the major support system you
oh
have
yes.
during competition time, because your parents are not there, your coaches are sometimes there, sometimes not there, but your friends are always there with you and they support you. Then nothing like it. But like you said, mentally you had to get trained. But I'm sure physically also, because you said your ankle was operated and the grass and full turn recap was like almost 360 turn and you come to a recap. So lot of pressure comes on the ankle. So physically, what you used to practice for that? What kind of
um,
conditioning?
Frankly, nothing. Till date, I carry that injury, uh, and till date, I I'm still in pain, but I still like to wear my heels. So I'm still not changed. That I'm still determined that I want to wear my heels, in even though my ankle hurts every day. So I think it's just being mentally strong about the goal that I have, about what I want to do. And I think that just drives me. That time I wanted to do Nidrasan Recap. And I think 99% of the times, frankly, I'll tell you, it was not even about me. It was always about Nandati, that I always wanted to make her happy by doing what she wants me to do. So if she wanted me to do Nidrasan Recap, that's it. Like, I want to do it for her. So it was all about her. I loved her so much. I wanted to be with her so much all the time, that I wanted her to be happy. And that was a driving factor majorly. That if there were competitions when, um, it was not like I wanted to have a gold medal. It was okay if I didn't perform very well. And Nandati used to say, okay, don't take stress, just don't do Nidra Sandikep, do all your other set. And that time I was fine doing not doing it. But when she used to say do it, yes, because she said do it, just do it. So that was the driving factor. And like I said, Mamta was always there for me all through. And she was actually my major competitor all the time. We were like, they Mamta, Rajeshwari, they were all there all the time. We were all major competitors, but then they were always my strengths. Like, I remember Rajeshwari um, going back and bouncing back again and being at the top for years. And yeah, I mean, these girls always gave me strength. I used to look up to them and say, "Oh, if they can do it, I can do it also." So,
Definitely, I feel your determination was the best thing, and of course, love for your coach. I remember one tournament where you and Mamta, they both got selected, and during that time, you entire that above 16, entire everybody who was participating, we were still junior at that time, all were champions. So who will get selected for national was like the biggest thing, and you and Mamta, they both got selected and both came first.
yeah,
And that was like a major thing for all of us. Like both our teachers are first, and we
yeah,
were so happy about it.
yes,
But Rashmita, I remember your student Apupa, her very important crucial year. During that time, she got a knee injury, and secondly, you were in US that time, where there was nobody to take her practice, And it was not a situation like now that it was okay, chalo video call kar liya, performance dikha diya ek dusre ko, and you can correct her while she's practicing. But I remember she used to practice alone, and you used to share meals with each other, and but still you could take her practice, and she achieved her Chhatrapati award. How was that entire process?
Um, I think it's the same that happened with me, and that's why I could handle it in a better way. When I was practicing, Nandati was in US, and it was the same story. We exchanged emails, we spoke over the phone, but I that void of your coach or your mentor or your best friend not being there is a big void. Um, and that is what I wanted to fill for Apurva. That's one thing. And secondly, I think what is very, very important is getting your basics right. And Samartha Vyam Mandir has always topped in that all our students have their basics right. The moment you don't have your basics right, if you go to the advanced levels, you never get that confidence, right? So Apurva had her basics right, and for me to I had already taught her everything. It was only about practicing. So it was more of a mental training than a physical training. And, you know, exercises and conditioning, strengthening, after a certain point, you actually can do it yourself with your friend's company or something. But doing that mental training was very important, which I did for Apurva, and precisely the way that Nandati had done for me. So, kind of like I said earlier, I just followed what Nandati did with me with Apurva, and it really worked fine because me and Apurva are both similar type of people that we work mentally more than physically. We don't like to go up there and do our sets 10 times, practice 10 times. Rather, we would sit down, think about it 10 times and do it only one time. So it worked fine. But I would really, really like to stress and give this message to everyone through this interview that getting your basics right is important. Once you have your basics right, I think advance becomes much more easier. And this is the same thing I think we do in school in our studies as well, that we learn our first standard, second standard, third standards. Our parents are like behind us to study, but if we have studied well, then our graduation becomes really easy. So your basics are more important than anything else.
That's a beautiful answer. I have seen the struggle. Of course, when you were practicing with Nandati, I was very young. I've seen Apurva struggle while she was practicing, and it is a different matter of motivation to practicing alone. You come, your own work, you put your own maths, do your set, think about it, sit down again, you feel the mistakes, you do it again, and then pack up everything and go home. It's a different level of motivation you need to do all of that, and I really hats off to you and Apurva to do all of that. Um, Rashmi, your husband is also from the Malcolm team. So, did you guys ever had any arguments or discussions or any
All
kind
the
of
time. We still
conversation
do.
about?
So yeah, I mean it's not about the right or wrong, but I all our arguments are more towards the timeline of things, how things were in our age and how things are now. It's not about performance only or Malkham only, but it's about the competitions, how we all are coming live on Facebook and making this a big thing. So we have arguments every now and then. So
What difference do you find about competitions or practice during your time and now?
frankly, I have not been to any of the competitions in the last, I don't know, probably 5, 7 years. So I don't think I can answer your question in the right way because I've really not seen how it is now. Um, I've been out of the country for a while now, so and when I usually come in December or February, I'm only there for like 2 weeks, so I hardly get to see any competition. So I'm going to skip this question.
No, but you have of course you have performed and you have participated as a player. And after that, when Apurva was playing, you were very active. So Not now, but at least 10 years back, you knew how the competitions were happening, and during your time, how the competitions were happening. You can compare between that.
I think there was not much of a change when Apurva was there, but um, I remember that one good thing when Apurva was performing was, other than Mumbai, Pune, all other states had also started participating very well. Satara was very competitive, and that was a good sign for Malkham that just not Mumbai, Pune, but others are also coming up, and just not coming up, they were winning medals, they were winning individual medals, so which was a good sign for sure. And I was very happy about it, but frankly I don't know what happened after that because I'm completely out of it now. So
Now, a lot of people are like other states are doing really well. Satara is now like a tough competition for us now, but other states also like Thane and all of those, and they are doing really good. That a lot
that's
of
good.
states are doing really great now. Basically, now the rules have changed and there is no compulsory, only optional. Last 2 years. So, in your time, the compulsory was there. What was your favorite, and what is your say about having compulsory and not having?
So initially, when they introduced compulsory, it was, we were all excited about it because it was a new era in the game. It was something new that we were doing. We all have been doing optional sets forever, and we were all excited. But as we went along, what, and this is purely my personal opinion, that unless and until we have a standardization in the game, having a compulsory set doesn't make sense, in the sense that, I'll just give an example. If we do cross, Sadha cross, we would probably, like, in Mumbai, we've been teaching to join our legs, but in Pune, they cross their legs, right? So there's nothing right or wrong about it. It's just two different ways of doing a particular thing, particular element. Unless all this is standardized, um, I don't think having a compulsory set is the right thing to do, because, again, like, I want to stress that there is nothing right or wrong here. It's just two different ways of doing it. And in a compulsory set, if, say, if you're going to tell the people who join their legs to cross their legs, they think it's wrong. And if you tell the people who cross their legs to join their legs, they think it's wrong. So that standardization in every element that you do, if that comes, only then can you introduce a compulsory so that it can be compared across. So everybody doing a cross, if they are joining the legs, then you can compare it. But if that's not happening, you really can't compare. So it's in one way good that the compulsory is scrapped and we are only doing optional, but then at the same time we are losing the um, we are losing the standardization process. And if that is happening, it is good. I'm not aware of it, but I think that standardization across the elements, across the performances, has to be there if you want to have compulsory.
But it is the same case for optionals as well, right? So in optionals also, if you're doing similar things, some people might think that, okay, I remember I was judging one of the competitions and I asked somebody, okay, why did you cut the marks? Jump. And that person told me because she held the rope in her leg on the top. I said, aren't you supposed to hold the rope? Like, no, no, you have to just cross the leg. So, in basics also, if the standardization doesn't happen, so whether it's a compulsory or optional, still that argument remains the same.
Yes, but in optional, at least you have a way to present it gracefully. Whereas in compulsory, even if you present it gracefully, you're still not doing in the way that it is expected, right? So that's the difference. So I'm like, to your example, that if you're not holding the rope, but if you're just putting your leg across, but you're putting it in a pointed way and a very nice way, and it's looking beautiful, it's graceful, then it's good for optional set. But in a compulsory set, if you're expected to hold the rope, you're expected to hold the rope. So that standardized, and I agree to your point, actually, that the standardization has to be there, whether it's a compulsory or optional. So only thing is, in optional you have some more scope of being graceful or coming up with your new ideas, innovations, which will take you a little bit away from the standardization, but still the standardization is still very, very, very important. And um, I think because we are making this as a international game now, and we've been trying to do this for now maybe 4 5 years now, and I have been outside the country for so long, and that's one thing that I have seen in living outside, that there is a standardization in everything. So if we try to get that standardization in Malkham, I think the quality of performances will really improve, because then you will know that this is the way to do it. You will know that this is the one and only one way to do it. So everybody will do it in that way, and that will automatically increase the performance levels, and that way it will automatically increase the competition, because both of you know how to do it well.
Quality of the entire performance.
Absolutely.
And I remember, Rashmita, when as soon as we used to reach above 16, all of you, all the seniors and the coaches tell us to buy the code of point, where there were pictures of compulsory. And we had to study that before you can become a judge. You have to have the book and you have to see each and every position and try to just implement the same pose there. I hope it just works that way. And for me, compulsory was my favorite. That's why I'm asking this question to everybody. Like, I want the compulsories to be back.
Yeah, I mean that was a good way of scoring, definitely. Easy way of scoring, right? So, and that's why I said that I think we all girls, especially Samartha Vyam Mandir, I don't want to talk about others, but then in Samartha Vyam Mandir, because we did our basics right all the time. I remember Deshpande sir, unless and until you hold your toes, he's not going to leave you. So, you know, because we did our basics right, the compulsory for us was a very easy, a piece of cake for us. It was really a cakewalk for us, that whether it's Padmasan, Padastasana, any zap, it was like, okay, just do it, Guru Pakad. You know, it was not great, and that's why I think you like it, because it was a cakewalk for us, and it gave us one step ahead of others.
I remember you guys used to go, like, despite of you practicing with Nanda Tai, every day morning you used to go and practice a compulsory with Deshpande sir. We all have done that. And because you, our seniors, were doing, it was like, okay, ऐसे करेंगे तो ही there is a chance to win. So we have to go to Deshpande sir and practice our
Yeah,
compulsory.
yeah.
Your compulsories are not going to be good. And then that is passed on to now generation also.
Yeah.
Every day morning, go to Deshpande sir, do your basics correct, do your compulsories, and if, whether you have compulsory competition or you don't have it, still practice your compulsories with Deshpande sir. No
till
option.
till date I haven't understood that, I wasn't very flexible person, right? We were all like, we all were the same category, the hefty ones and the strength guys. But I still remember 5 o'clock in the morning, and because me and Mamta both were studying and working, we used to go at 5 o'clock in the morning to exercise. And even 5 o'clock in the morning, he used to make us do Padasasana, and still our forehead touched the knees. But if you do it yourself, no way. But if sir is standing there, it will happen. So I don't know whether it was the scary part of it, or it was the skill, or I still don't know. I still question that. So, and frankly, I did the same with Apurva also. I sent her also to practice with Deshpande sir, and that time sir used to be like, now why do you need me? Why can't you teach? I'm like, no, it's that's something, it's a magic that you have, and it's only you can do it. So
No, but it's really true that like we all teach difficult stuff or those marks and all the captions which are difficult. But for the basics, we all have done it with Deshpande sir, and it
yeah.
always works. Stress sir, Deshpande sir, we can't just say no to them, and it happened. Like, I think we underestimate ourselves, and then sir, we can't say no to sir, so we try give our best in the morning, especially in the morning when our body is already stiff. But still,
You still could do it. I don't know how.
best thing I feel, if you ask sir, I want to come tomorrow morning for practice. What time should I come? And he just easily says 5 o'clock. Like, Sir, 5? Are you sure? You said 5, not 7. 5 o'clock. And then you get up also to come at that time.
Me and Mamta almost for a year, and that time Mamta was working. I was doing my master's, so we had our classes at 7:30 in the morning. So we used to come at 5 o'clock, practice till 6, and then go home, change, and then go for our classes and job. Um, that time, yeah, I mean, I still don't know how I used to wake up at 5 o'clock, even after having a daughter who's 8 year old. Now I still can't wake up at 5 o'clock. But um, yeah, that time I think it was just the motivation to do, like, we knew that we have to achieve something, and that's and moreover, if Deshpande sir is coming to take practice, who has the dare to go late, right? So yeah, it was good. I remember one time when it was first day of Diwali, and everybody was getting like totally dressed up and all, and they were all coming to Shivaji Park, and me and Mamta in our tracksuits were going back home because we had asked Shreyas sir, can we skip this day because it's Diwali first day, and he said no, that's not happening, and okay, fine, 5 o'clock. And again, like I said, I had Mamta's support all the time. Mamta at 4:45 used to be below my house calling me. So like literally sometimes she used to come at my place and knock my door and get me brunch and take me away. So it was good.
I know so many stories like that. Same used to happen with Kunal and Omkar. Me and my brother used to sleep, and then Kunal used to come, ring the bell, wake up Omkar, and do my practice. It's same like I used to go and wake up Reshma. Reshma used to be sleeping with all her cats around, and I'm like, Reshma, get up, we have to go and practice. So I think this one friend
Yeah.
who you always need to push you to, you know,
Yeah.
come with. But I really feel so proud of you that you both, Ratnamta and you did excellent in your studies as well as in your sports career. How difficult was that?
And that's again to Nandati. So when when I started with Nandati, it was not only like we used to practice, and at the same time, like um, it's my turn. So now I go and perform. Come down, keep doing your mathematics, keep doing your homework. So sitting in the Shivaji Park ground, we actually used to um, do our studies, and even Saturday, Sundays, when we used to come for extra practice, she used to ask us to get our books along. And like one person is on the rope and one person is doing their homework. So we kind of got used to studying every day. We were not those last minute persons ever. So that really helped. And I think like when we were in 10th standard, the nationals were in Samartha Vyayam Mandir, and morning we used to give our 10th standard paper and evening come and perform. So that time also Nandati guided us so well that we just passed through without any um, any stress or anything. She used to tell us, just be ready with your gym suits, and whenever I call you, just come running from your home. So your running will be done, your warm up will be done then and there, and just go and perform. Um, so her guidance was very, very important. She always stressed on getting good marks. So 10th graduation we fared very good, me and Mamta both, and I dedicated all to Nandati. And of course my parents also, that they my parents never stressed so much that you should study all the time, you should study all the time, and that actually helped because parents believed in us. They believed in us, they trusted us that we will do what we are supposed to do, and that trust really took us far, that we we did it on a daily basis. So, and again, another message from me to all the viewers here, that study on a daily. If you are a sportsman, you should have the discipline to study every day. You have the discipline of eating, study, like practicing every day, but in all this we forget that our studies and is equally important. We in India are not like other countries where sportsmen have all the liberty. For us, studying is equally important. That's how our country is made, and which is good, because Even now when I'm outside, I am the best of the lot because I've studied well, right? So um, please concentrate on your studies as well. Your sport is definitely important, but that sport should be a driving factor for your studies. The way you're determined in sport, that determination should continue in your studies as well.
Very nice message. I hope everybody listens to this and understands.
And I gave that again, what Nandati gave me, I gave it to Apurva. She also fared very good in her studies. So.
Definitely, yes. Of course, Nandati also, when I spoke to Nandati, she also told me that it was a Mayor Cup championship and she was doing her 10th exams and morning she used to give paper and come for the competitions and
Yeah.
go again back the next day and give exams. So I think the same story went on with you. So
Yep.
it's all credit to our teachers for doing that.
Yep.
Yesterday, as you said, your daughter is 8 years old. Do you want her to be in the same sport, or what is she doing right now?
So she just started gymnastics a couple of years back, and I actually have a rope malkham here. I've been carrying it with me for the past 3, 4 years. So wherever we have an opportunity, we just try to hang it and try to show her what. And thanks to, I don't know who posted my video on Facebook one time, so I could show her that this is how I did, and she kind of not believed it. Looking at my size right now, probably she she was like, "Mama, I don't think you used to do this," but yeah. So we've introduced her to it, and I was in India for 2 years when she was like 3 years old. So she's seen that, and every time we come, I get her to Vamshara, so she knows Malkhambh and all. She likes gymnastics though because it's all glamorous leotards that you get to wear, and you have that glamour that, oh, you do gymnastics. So right now that's only important to her. Other than that, I don't think she really understands what she's doing. So, and we both being sportsmen, me and Yogesh, we you know just push her into doing things. Like we see a bar somewhere, we hang her. We see a beam somewhere, we make her do a cartwheel. So she's like used to it now.
Yeah, whenever she has come to Shivaji Park, and I'm always taking pictures, practice, I always make her climb on the
Yeah.
roof. Like,
Oh,
oh,
we have your
we
video
have
of you teaching her Malkham.
sorry.
We have a video of you teaching her Malkham.
Oh, okay. Yeah. And whenever she comes, we tell her, your mama used to do this, you have to do it. Like, let's try it at least. And she's like, Mama used to do this. And I think now we can be able to show the video now. I think
Yeah.
she will us also now.
Yeah, and I don't have a single photo or video of mine, so I could never show her. Um, yeah, so she probably didn't believe me ever. And another motivation factor to come in Samartha is Deshpande sir giving her that Shrikanda Chigori. So yeah.
Say, in your career currently, is Malcolm helping you? Or I would say, what did you take out from Malcolm? What is right now still helping you out?
As I mentioned earlier, the discipline that Nandati put in us as a part of the sport, like she put that discipline in us because she wanted us to do Malkham, she wanted us to study well. That discipline has carried through all my life, even today. And the determination, or Deshpande sir always used to say chikati, it has to be there. And it is somehow inside us now. You can't separate it out from us. So, and a need, I always term it as a high need individual, that our need always is to have a goal. There has to be a goal for our lives, and without a goal we are not good people anymore. Like, so I think as a sportsman through Malkhambh, I've carried that, definitely, that discipline, that determination, um, that need to be successful at anything that you do, and be good. Keep trying to do good till you reach the best. All those things have, it's now within me. I can't be a different individual. That so all the sportsmen here, I think everybody is the same. I know you are the same. After I actually got out of Malkham and I went outside and all, the one thing that I have always missed is sportsman friends. I meet a lot of them, but they're all guys. But sportsman girls, I really miss, and that connect with them is always different. So, um, yeah, that's what I've carried from the sport, and I'm sure you all will agree to it that we
Definitely.
we stand different from others when it comes to these things of discipline and determination. We don't ever feel sad with our defeats, but we only rise from it.
So true. I really, I can't agree more.
Your voice is breaking.
Yeah, the some network issue maybe.
Yeah.
Ashwini, my next question to you and the last question is, how do you see Malcolm's future?
Okay. So, like I said, I've been out of it for a long time now. But all the effort that you guys are doing is great. I mean, I really doubt people of my generation would have thought about all these things that you guys are doing to make this a more popular thing. And but then I think with the popularity, we should not be losing the authenticity of it. um, I have seen some recent performances, and on the face of it, they look very good. They are very nice, but they are not as authentic, or like we were talking about standardization. They are not as standard or as authentic as what we had seen Nandati, Chitrati, Chenna, all those Ashwini, all of them performing. Oh my God, they were like the best, the perfectionist of it, and that perfection we should not lose as we are moving ahead there. And financially also the game has to become strong, and I think that's one place where we've been lacking for years now, and we're trying to build up, but um, the glamour to the game has to come, and only with the glamour comes money. It's a catch 22. Where there's money there's glamour, where there's glamour there's money. So we all have to work together to get that finance part of it sorted out to make this game a success. I mean, just having standardizations, just having publicity will always not help, but finance part is always a bigger part. Like I remember in our days, the competitions used to be 4 5 days, and now I heard it's come down to 2 days, 3 days, which is a lot of stress on on the competitors, that you can't just perform 5 and 10 sets in 2 or 3 days. So it's and there are two sides of the coin, that you don't have finance, so you want to do it 2 3 days because you still want to do it. So we definitely need to work towards sorting it out, planning it properly, and yeah, there will be lots of factors to it that needs to be worked on.
So true, Ashwini. Definitely, finance is an important thing for the competitions. That's what a lot of people keep saying, that we should have indoor competitions like some of the athletics and AC rooms, where all the students can perform in the same temperature, in the same atmosphere at the same time. If the student is performing at 5 o'clock in the evening, or performing at 10 o'clock in the night, or 3 o'clock in the afternoon, they all get the same atmosphere or the temperature. But it's not visible till now to have that much of budget for our competition. And hope Malcolm will have those days soon. I would say the golden days where we all can perform in the AC dome. And I would like to say thank you, Rashmita, for coming. It was such a fun time for me to talk with you, feeling so nostalgic, because we had discussed so much of our time of like as participants and as the players. And I still remember every competition where you used to be there, you used to come to me and tell me on my set, whether you were my competitor or after when you became my teacher. Every time you used to like come and motivate me for the set, and I still remember that. Thank you so much for that and today's interview. I'm glad we could speak. Thank you so
Yeah,
much.
definitely. And I am sure, to your point, I'm very, very sure that the effort that you guys are putting in will definitely take us ahead. And I think through this interview, I really want to promise one thing, that I have been away from the game myself for years now, but I will make an effort to come back. Maybe, frankly, I am a very, even though I'm outside, I'm a very, very, very Indian person, very, very Indian based person. So I will come back, and whenever I'm back, I'll make sure I am in Samartha Vyayam Mandir. I know every time I come, you call me to be there, and I always miss it. But I promise this time I will make it happen. And yeah,
Looking forward to the current company, and let's hope we can get that soon.
yep.
Okay,
Good.
thank you, Rashmi.
Nice talking. Thank you.
Bye. Take care.